So, Michael, hit me with an all right, all right, all right.
All right, all right, all right.
So, welcome everyone to Hardball Profits Way, brought to you by American Management Service. This is a business management podcast for any owner, entrepreneur, aspiring owner, high school student, toddler, graduate student, college student, retiree, grandfather, grandson, grandmother, granddaughter, anyone that wants to get involved in a business, owns a business, has a business, wants to be in business, and actually wants to create success and wealth for themselves. In fact, folks, what we are all about through the Hardball Profits Way is helping owners and potential owners, people that want to create greatness, improve their business, improve their life, and maximize profits. That's what we are about for everyone. Hi there. My name's Lou Mosca. I'm the Chief Operating Officer of American Management Services. Today we're going to be chatting about the restaurant industry and what they're going through nowadays in March of 2020. I forgot what year it is. And I'm joined again today by my good friend and colleague, Michael Lockey, our Director of Management Services. So how are you, Michael?
Doing very well. Thank you.
Good. So with the coronavirus running around, how many restaurants have you been in lately?
Absolutely zero.
Zero. That's like less than one.
And I like to eat too.
You and me both. It's like my favorite hobby in the universe is restaurants. And, I think we're very similar in this regard. We like to go to some of the big boys and we like to frequent some of the independents. And, it just dawned on me today. One of our colleagues said to me today that, a lot of these independent restaurants are taking it on the chin. I actually think they're all taking it on the chin. So, I don't think we're working with any restaurants right now that I can think of, are we?
No, we're staff.
Okay. So what are you hearing out there from the restaurant world, and what are you seeing?
Well, I think the first thing is you're absolutely right. I think as this virus, and again, I would stress nobody really knows where this virus is going to end up, how real it is, how dangerous it is. Obviously, the perception is that it's very, very dangerous. And as more and more news comes out, and the news being don't have public gatherings over X number of people. No group. Keep social distancing. Let me give you an example. Here in Orlando, downtown, every second Thursday of the month, they do a wine walk, and all the bars and restaurants are collaborative, and people just walk amongst. And we've gone probably the last 2-3 months, and no way in hell we were going to do that this time around. Just too dangerous in my mind. No reason to. And I'm sure people probably did do that. I don't know if they even had it or canceled it or not, but I'm going to guess that if people did do it, the numbers that you normally see weren't anywhere near to what they would have been 2 months ago, 3 months ago. So I think it's a real thing. I think it's impacted. As you said, we had a colleague they're worried about things getting laid off. And I think in my mind, it's just going to get worse before it gets better. And I don't know what the time frame, maybe it's 2 weeks, maybe it's a month, maybe it's 6 months, who knows? But I think it's going to get worse before it gets better. So these smaller restaurants are going to be in some danger of just surviving through this. And the bigger ones are they maybe have enough liquidity to make their way through it.
But they're going to be damaged.
But they're going to be damaged in some way, yeah.
So what I'd like to do in the next couple of minutes is maybe throw out some ideas to help the independent restaurant owner. I'm not too worried about the public chain. Whatever they do, they can do, right? But we'll probably talk about some things that could benefit them too. But it's the independent business owner that I'm most concerned with, that I want to give them a couple of things they can sink their teeth into. But before I do that, I want to share with you, and I know you know this, I'm a 5 or 6 night a week restaurant guy, right? And in the last 2 weeks, I have probably visited one restaurant, and I couldn't wait to get out. Not like they did anything wrong. It was sort of like I felt the hair on my back crawling just being in a public place like that. And I can understand why folks are so hesitant to do so. So when we think about these independent restaurant guys, I'm going to bet you the average independent restaurant owner does $400,000, $500,000, $600,000, $700,000 per year per store, right? And we've had some clients that do millions of dollars. And we had a chain up in Akron, 3 stores doing about $12 million, and we've done that. But I'm going to bet you on average these guys are doing $300,000, $400,000, $500,000, $600,000 a year, and pretty much living hand to mouth. Right? It's not like they've got an extra $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 hanging around. So they're taking it in the chin. People are not coming in. Imagine if you own a Chinese restaurant. Right? Imagine if that's what your business is. I would imagine they're decimated right now. But, what do we tell that $500,000 a year guy? Guy's doing 10 grand a week. That guy, what do we tell him to try to protect his business because his 10 grand a week has now gone to 9 grand a week, which has gone to 8 grand a week, which he knows it's going to be at 6 grand a week next week. He could see what's on his books. What kind of advice could we give him?
Well, I think I would do this. I would say this with any type of business, not just the restaurateurs, but anybody we walk in the doors. The first thing is you got to be real with the situation, and we're in a little bit of uncharted waters with this virus going around. But the first thing is don't just hope for things to improve. Don't just wait for things to get improved. You got to act now. Let's put a plan together. And if anybody has ever listened to a word that we've ever said, plan, and then plan some more. So I think the first thing is be real with the situation, and then develop a good plan of action around that. Now, we talked earlier, we talked before about just from a general perspective of plans that we put in place for our clients: protect your people, protect your operations, protect your balance sheet and your financial aspects of your company. And I would say that's probably no different for these guys. But the reality is that these guys are probably way more impacted than maybe a guy that's a widget manufacturer, because he may still be able to produce, he may still be able to get supply, he may still have
put it on a shelf and it won't go bad.
Right, exactly. So whereas this business is completely derived from the number of tables that they turn and their ability to get food product. Now, people are got to eat, but if people aren't comfortable being in that environment, the reality is that no matter what you do or what you say, it's gonna impact you. So be real about that and develop a plan of approach that says, how am I going to protect those three elements of my business as best as I can, given the fact that I know that the tables in the restaurants aren't going to fill up. I'd start there.
Yeah, I'm not I have no clue when this virus is going to go away, right? And when people are going to start to feel better about being in crowds. But I sort of look at it from a very simple perspective. If my rent is $5 grand a month and my utilities are $1,000 a month and my insurance is X amount of dollars and my phone is X amount of dollars, my fixed cost is 10 grand a month, do I have 6 months worth of excess cash hanging around to cover this? Do I have that? If I don't, you need to start adjusting your costs because you can't guarantee revenue, right? So in our world, raise the bridge, more revenue, lower the water, reduce costs. However, restaurateurs, they want foot traffic. They need people sitting at tables, right? If you talk to a car dealer, all he ever wants to talk about is how many people come through the showroom door, right? So here we're in a restaurant business. You need people to come in and sit their fannies in chairs. So I think these people, our owners, the people we want to help, need to get a little more creative. So let's talk about 1, 2, or 3 things they might do to get a little more creative. So if you are a 7-day-a-week restaurant, maybe you only open 3 days a week. All right, and you promote the heck out of the 3 days a week with the labor, that savings you would have had on the other 3 days a week, something. And maybe you put together a program with frequent guests, frequent visitors, or something like that. Or maybe it's 2 dinners gets 1 dinner free. You got to get people to come in. If you're not doing lunch, you're only doing dinner, maybe you should do lunch. Because even if it got you 10 or 15 more customers and they only spend $10 each, it's $100 a day, 30 days a month is $3 grand. Covers your rent. Right? What else?
Maybe one thing that pops in my mind is, how many times have you walked into a restaurant and they've got 100 things on the menu? Maybe you go to a limited menu. Maybe you look at the things that sell and actually move, or things that you can you can keep on your shelves or get ready supply on, and just run with those types of things. I think when we were talking about this offline, one of the things I believe you'd mentioned is with your wait staff or your kitchen staff, hey, if you can bring in 2, 3 people a week, maybe there's some type of spiff or reward in it for you.
Yeah, so they bring in 2 guests a week for dinner. They get 10% of whatever the ticket is. All right, something like that. How about something like this? How about in today's day and age, I would imagine most restaurants, wouldn't be mine if I owned it, right? But most restaurants have a digital listing of their customers. They know their names, their birth dates, the first time they came in, what kind of bottle of wine that they like. How about you as the owner pick up the phone and call them?
Yep.
Haven't seen you in 2 or 3 weeks. Can I bring you a dinner? Can I cater something for you? Can I make a special meal for you? Can you and your significant other come in one dinner I'll pay for? If you as the owner pick up the phone and call people, I'm going to tell you, you're going to get their attention. You know why? Because no one does that, right? No one does that.
I think maybe just and these are just thoughts that are popping in as we talk about it. But the issue is people feeling safe and secure in the restaurants. Maybe this is a situation if you have 30 tables, maybe you space them out more. Maybe you go to 15 tables, and then when you're making those calls, hey, we've kept in the spirit of social distancing, we put the tables
You've
apart
created
from
a
each
safer
other.
environment.
Right, exactly. Here's how we're cleaning. Here's what we've done. I get emails all the time because we fly a lot, and I get emails from all these airlines that say, here's what we're doing with our planes. So I got in hotels that said, here's how we're cleaning our rooms above and beyond just the normal piece. And it's all designed to give people peace of mind. No reason why the food industry or restaurant industry couldn't do something similar to that. Here's how we're cleaning. Here's how we're making it safer for you. Come on in. And it may or may not help. I don't profess to know that, but I got to think that giving people a peace of mind, and even if you're the only one doing that, it may not fix it today, but maybe you get back up on your feet that much sooner by doing those types of things.
And so let's sort of wrap it up like this. I think that if you're my favorite steakhouse is part of a major chain, right? And they're struggling. They're taking it on the chin because their average ticket's pretty high. And in fact, I go once a week, sometimes twice a week, and I haven't gone in a couple of weeks. But I got that phone call today. We miss you. Where you at? And it resonates with me.
Sure.
Okay. And so I look at it like this. If you're an independent restaurant owner, you have to, number one, protect your liquidity. Do you have enough money to get by for 6 months to cover your overhead? If you don't, you better start putting it together. Number two, if you're a 7-day-a-week operation, maybe you change that. If you're a 30-seat restaurant, maybe you make it 15-seat restaurant. If you have 60 entree items, maybe you reduce it to 20 entree items for the time being. If you're not offering lunch, maybe you do. If you are doing lunch and dinner, maybe you eliminate the lunch. But I'm going to tell you the trick to me, if you're an independent business owner, you pick up that phone and you call the people that you have not seen in 30 days. You miss them, you hope they're okay. You miss them, you hope they're okay, and you'd love to see them. How about you come in within the next week, one dinner on me, 50% off. You need to get people back in, because if your staff's not making money on tips, you're going to lose them too. And if you've taken years to build your staff, it's all going to be a shit show, right? Am I allowed to say shit show? Too late. It's all going to be a shit show. Okay. So here's the deal. If you're in a restaurant business, you need the foot traffic. You need to make sure you have 6 months of burn money. If you don't have it, you're in trouble. A bank is not going to lend you the money. A bank is not going to lend you the money. You have to have it. If you don't have enough confidence in your business to borrow against your house or put up your own money, you shouldn't have been in business to begin with. But to sit there and say, the coronavirus is killing me, woe is me, woe is me, woe is me, you're in trouble. So there are steps you can take. Get on the phone, talk to your patrons, people you haven't seen in a while, change your menu, adjust your menu, shrink your menu, change your hours, add your hours, shrink your hours. A lot of things you can do. But
have a plan.
Have a plan, and you better have 6 months worth of overhead put aside. Anything else you think, Mike?
Nope, I think that's it.
Very good. Listen, you're talking to Lou Mosca and Michael Lockey, two absolute restaurant junkies. We want you healthy and alive. We want you making us those meals that we just love to have. So we are counting on you to follow a plan, create a plan, follow a plan, execute the plan, and be here in a month, 3 months, 6 months. And as we say all the time, if you're not sure what to do, pick up the phone and call 800-743-0410. Ask for either Michael or myself. We'll be happy to help you. We look forward to sitting down and having a meal with you. Later.